Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I wanted to show you the highest level in the custom journal order. This is one of the journals that is $75. It's a standard journal plus the additional things on the outside like extra charms, a closure, and again, always feel free to reach out to me either on Ko-fi or other ways. You can email me, message me, however you normally get a hold of me, and let me know, like if you don't want a ribbon closure or if you don't want a closure at all. You may want like a pretty tie that wraps around the journal that you can completely remove and put to the side. I put a safety pin up here at the top, and that's just pushed through. Just be careful if you take that off. I don't want anybody to get stuck. There's a pretty heart charm that jingles, and a vintage key on this metal ring. And then when we open it, so the reason that this one is the highest level, it has work that I've done in it in addition to the extra trim and the pockets. There's a Tim Holtz clip. It says treasure. I've not ever seen these until recently. I bought a pack, and I don't know, I really like those. They're cute. It's a heavy duty pen, almost like a safety pin, but then at the top it's got some little number and word. Here's a tag that I stenciled and stained with coffee dye. Where there is joy, laughter, and color, fairies will be found. So when we go through, and there's one of my little drawings in there, you could do something with that. But we have at least 4 pages that have the fabric or lace trim. I put washi tape on the other side to give the page a more structure where the stitches went through. This is an eclectic mix of paper. I really like eclectic. There's a little bird stamp there, but again, you can feel free to reach out to me if you want a certain color or a certain theme, and I will do my best to make it what you're looking for. I've put a stamp in here, a postage stamp. There's one of the pockets, more trim, and the washi tape on the other side of the stitching. There is a set of vintage postage stamps, and I just put a little ink mark on there, like a postmark. This one has got a page of vintage wallpaper, and you can see there's been some staining around the edges here with a pink Faber-Castell crayon, and I dried that. And it carried over to some of the pages, which I think is really pretty. So you have space to work, but there's also pretty scrapbook paper. So this one is tied, the binding strings fall on the inside. And here are just some little paper embellishments that are tied onto the strings. You could remove those or leave them. They are long enough to lift up and kind of, put in different pages if you wanted to use them like bookmarks. There's some vintage fabric, and I'm trying to remember who sent this to me. Oh my goodness, so many of you have sent me things. But this was used to make a ruffle on this page. And again, there's washi tape here. Here is just an ink stamp. I love this one so much. But you could cover it up. You could work around it, or you could cover it, or you could journal on these pages. And here is another pocket. It's 2 layers. We've got the paper and then some fabric. And there's the other side of the wallpaper. I love that. I just stamped the word journal here. There's a little bird stamp, and you can see more of the Faber-Castell crayons around the edge on these pages. I love that color. And it's okay if it smears a little bit. I dried it, but I think that was some little flecks that came off of the crayon. Another fabric ruffle with washi tape on the other side. And just lots of really pretty pages. There's a pocket here. Love that paper. And then we get over here, and there's another tag that I made and stained. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. And you can see some of the stencil dye on the other side, or staining, I should say. There's a little square of fabric. Carolyn, I know you stamped those for me. I sewed it over the edge of this velvet ribbon. And the velvet ribbon is vintage, so that can tie around and just go through this really fun closure. I'm not sure what this was, and I'm not sure what it's made out of. I don't know if it's plastic or resin. Anyway, so that is a journal that has, it's just a standard journal with one signature, and then I've added extra charms to the cover, and we have lots of extra trim, pockets, and then I've done some work in this either with color or stamping. And again, you can message me and say, you know, really color the edges of the pages. I can do more. I just don't want to overdo it. And you can say, like, feel free to do more stamping or whatever. You should be able to leave me a note on Ko-fi. So I've had some feedback from someone which really helped me a lot. I think if you're just signed in as a guest, or not signed in, but you're just looking at the Ko-fi shop as a guest, I don't know if you can leave a message, but feel free, abitofbirdsong@gmail.com. Some of you communicate with me on Facebook. Any way that you know how to message me, you can just tell me if you have things that you would like to have incorporated in your journals. Thank you for looking. This is going into the Ko-fi shop. At this time, I would like to thank my Patreon supporters. Without your help, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing, which is have a channel, create content, make journals, and do art full time. Thank you so much for supporting me like you do. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate always your feedback and suggestions. Okay, bye for now.